And I think we're back. Can you guys hear us in the chat? That was kind of funny, right? Hello? Hello? Oh, God, please don't tell me I'm the only one here.
I don't think so, unless I just lost Orty. Hang on. Did we lose Orty? No.
I give up.
It says he's here.
Can you guys hear me in the chat room? I don't think anyone can hear me.
Hang on.
Oh, they hear me. Yay, I'm talking to myself. Okay, great. Well, apparently it was my fault. We lost power like right after I dropped the F-bomb. And now we've lost the Amish guy. So it's going really well tonight, guys. I'm glad you're here joining us in the chat room so you can hear us totally fall apart. That's a lot of fun. Hopefully we get the Amish guy back because he had all the notes and I'm like totally unprepared.
Am I here?
Yeah,
you're here.
All right. Yes, I had actually muted my microphone to cough and forgot to bring the boom back down.
Oh, my God in heaven. Did you really?
Yeah, so we're highly professional here. Between drunk tractor drivers and Amish techs who can't remember to put their boom back down to unmute themselves.
So it sounds like you had your sunglasses on your head and you were looking for your sunglasses?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. You know what we need to do? I think what we need to do to regroup and get ourselves back together. Rick, you got that Kavanaugh song ready from the Third Rail Ramblers?
Maybe. Give me just 1 second. All right. We ready?
I think so. I think we need to play it, get everybody back into the mood of the... Yes.
The mood.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. You guys' mics will be open, so feel free to comment as needed.
Kavanaugh.
Oh God, that's too much fun.
I can't believe you can hit those notes. I'm a
I know,
chick. I
right?
can hit those notes. That's awesome. Al is in the chat, guys. Just so you know, we were making a big deal about it, but he is in the chat. Thank you. He and Beaker, who's been on the show, they do awesome parody work, and that was Kavanaugh.
So
That was fantastic.
I have to interject my 2 cents just for a second. As somebody that actually has sang for their circle before, that is a really fucking hard song to sing.
Whoa, no more F-bombs, man. It kills the show. I screwed up. I dropped an F-bomb. We lost power. It was God. You know, he's a no. He took it off the air, man.
Yep.
My
Took
fault.
us down.
My bad. Sorry, guys. But no, it's a great show. It's a great show.
That was great. Thanks, Al. Thanks, Beak. We love your work. You guys crack us up.
But yes, it was a good way to regroup and get back into things since I broke the show.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, my bad.
You know, it's been spamming in chat right now is all the Nike.
Oh yeah, that's been a fun thing, hasn't
plays
it?
on the Nike memes.
Yeah.
Oh God, the 30th anniversary, and they go with Colin Kaepernick. I mean, this is what's going to happen. This is going to be another instance of get woke, go broke.
Yeah, totally.
And I mean, Nike stock fell 3% yesterday, right after they
to be fair, Adidas fell too, and I mean, you know, but yeah. I get you. You know,
I mean, cryptocurrency took a big dive last night too, but yeah, it's
God.
Yeah, I am an Amish that is into crypto.
Yeah,
yes.
Clearly, because you know that's a big thing with the Amish folks these days.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a huge hit, but you know, the narrative's going to be people burning their shoes and everything. Is y'all are racist? Well,
that pisses me off. Don't burn your freaking shoes. Okay, I get people. We're going to make a statement. Fine, but you know what? There are a lot of people who could use your shoes who don't have any shoes. There are homeless shelters who will take your shoes. If you can't stand that someone's even wearing the swoosh, mark her through the damn thing. They don't care. They just need the shoes. Don't set your crap on fire. They already got your money.
Especially if they're the collectibles, that's more expensive than the crude coffee machines.
I mean, really, I get it. Yeah. I get you're making a statement, and I support that, and I understand that they pissed everybody off. But come on, man, there are people who could use that stuff, so give it away.
You know, then I saw the narrative that, okay, well, y'all are racist that are burning your shoes and everything. It's like, okay, all right.
Everything's
so for the last 30 years, you've had Michael Jordan, you've had Tiger Woods, but all of a sudden, because of Kaepernick, we're racist. Yeah.
Well, everything's racist, you know. Everything is bad. Everything is racist. And you know what?
Dumb corporate virtue signaling.
Well, yeah. I mean, Levi today. Levi also came out with some gun control messaging, stupid crap. I'm like, you sell jeans.
They're getting together with Bloomberg. What's also funny, the day that was announced was also the day that they announced that they're closing their last 2 factories in the United States.
Brilliant. God,
so
dumb. Who does their PR? It's so dumb.
Yeah,
what they really need, or they need Democrats to come out and try and boycott them. That will put them right back in business. In and out, man. Woohoo! That's great.
California Democratic Party pushing to boycott In and Out because that always works well. I mean, look how bad Hate Chicken is doing now. They opened their largest.
That the company that has like Bible verses on their wrappers and their cups would give money to the Republican Party. Oh my gosh, this is so shocking.
You know, and a lot of people don't know this about In and Out too, is that if you go to an In and Out and you're down in luck and you're homeless and whatever, they'll give you a burger and a water for whatever you have in your pocket. If you've got like 37 cents on you, they'll give you a burger and a water for that.
It's the same thing like Chick-fil-A, and it is just how they are and how they do business. And like when you go to Chick-fil-A, you're like, oh my God, why are you working here? You're so good at this. And that's why they're working there. Right. And you so rarely see that with fast food. Like you go to any restaurant, like, please don't spit in my food, you know. But you go to a Chick-fil-A and it's a completely different environment. And it's the same thing as In-N-Out. You know what we need to do? We need to get the Democrats to boycott our show.
Yeah, we would be huge then.
We'd be like freaking huge, right? We should totally do that. Hey, Democrats.
We won't need advertisers. They'll be
boycott the show, please. That'd be awesome. What a week! And you know what? The one thing I do want to talk about, because I know I told you I was like totally unprepared, and I am. But I think we should talk about Selena Zito.
I can't believe they're still doing 2 weeks of this now.
Now you know.
Especially the usual suspects. I mean, Kilgore Trout's still going on about it. But no, you guys don't attack conservative women ever.
Well, it's the thing is with Selena, I don't know, and even if you don't enjoy what she writes, Selena is probably one of the most, has the most integrity. She's fair. She's unbiased. She really is a good reporter. She's a fair journalist. And watching her get dragged by a bunch of right-punching supposed conservative anonymous trolls for a week. I actually did speak to her, and she was not doing well, and they're still she spent all weekend pulling all the notes they were accusing her of not having, and they're still harping on her even now.
Well, and here's the thing: is that okay? So they're harping on her about her anonymous sources, and yet these same people are splooshing about the New York Times anonymous op-ed today.
I saw that.
Yeah. Jerry Dunleavy had the best take on it. He said, if it's a lie, then it's a destructive act. If it's the truth, then it's the worst possible thing this person could have done and harms what they claim to be doing, which is also a destructive act.
Absolutely.
I mean, at best, if this is true, this is going to make Trump even more paranoid and erratic.
I mean, and that's kind of what I think they're trying to do. And I mean, at this point, you have to think that there's some kind of motive for hitting him when they know what he's going to react. You know, if they can't complain that he's mean to them, and then they go and slapping him and irritating him, and he's mean again, it's kind of like saying, hey, that dog is really mean, and poking the dog with a stick. And, you know, what's really funny is this anonymous official is probably some freaking aide that gets coffee. I mean...
Well, and that's the thing. If they're going to go with, you know, because the NYT is standing behind this anonymous op-ed, because that's really unusual. It better be somebody high up and not like the undersecretary of the FDA or some shit. I mean, this better be cabinet level. Otherwise, the NYT will never recover from that.
Oh, also, yeah, thank you. Andrews just mentioned Seth Mandel and, of course, Bethany Mandel.
Oh, yeah.
Tying back to Selena, thank you for bringing up the Mandels. They took a lot of heat for defending Selena and going out of their way to help her. And Seth did spend the weekend trying to help her get everything organized and written up so she could release it, so that hopefully these people would leave her alone. And, of course, these people aren't leaving her alone, but that's who these people are. One of them actually ended up doxing himself. We won't mention his name because then he'll scream about me for 3 days. But he did dox himself when someone said they were going to dox him, even though they didn't dox him. So he doxed himself. But anyway, you know, they're just, I don't know. It's been bad, and it's getting worse. And that's kind of why today I knew it would be awful.
But, you know, these are the people who always dox themselves, so that way they can play the victim for being doxed.
Well, you know, I mean, it's all about them, and it's the same group of people over and over again, and whatever, and moving on. But yeah, between that and Kavanaugh and Jack today, Laura Loomer, and the guy from Missouri doing his auction thing, which oh my God! Well, that was a hoot. I couldn't stand to watch much of that because he just great.
You know, it wasn't the train wreck I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's your usual Senate grilling where you've got the one side, you know, bashing him kinda, and then you got the other side lauding him and everything. And but I mean, the one thing is that Jack has universally pissed off both sides, so that way they all had something to go after him for. During the Senate hearings in the morning, they went after him for the Russian accounts. And during the afternoon of the House hearings, they went after him for silencing conservatives. And, you know,
he made me too angry because, you know, he just kept saying over and over again that, you know, well, he at least admits they're screwing up. They need to fix some things. But he kept claiming that it's not a political thing and we all know better.
Well, and that's, you know, the one thing that from listening to his two testimonies today and the way that he keeps referring to his algorithms and like he didn't know how many actual people review tweets for handling suspensions. He said that and that one that tells me he really either didn't want to say I have a skeleton crew and everything is run by artificial intelligence, or he didn't want to say I have all of these left-leaning, you know, like Southern Poverty Law Center and you know, who determine our internal policies. But the one thing he said, and I found this really telling, he said that if you sat down with a cup of coffee and read the terms of service, no person with reasonable intelligence would be able to decipher what is a violation on his service.
No, absolutely not. And they don't even tell you what words to do it.
And that's why I'm always suspended.
Well, that's part of the reason.
That's part of the reason.
And part of the reason is you just like to jump on grenades for people, and then you're surprised when you blow up.
Well, I'm not. You know, it's just Russian roulette with grenades.
That's you every day. Boom, boom. But you know, in 3 weeks, I got people saying, "Hey, where is he?" I'm like, you know what? He left the country. I am telling people you're done.
Yeah, I did intend to make an account this week, but I got busy, and but the thing is, and here's the thing: is that making the account isn't the problem. It's all the other hoops you got to jump through with phone numbers and everything else. So that way you can unlock. That is I'm running out of phone numbers. And because I'm in the sticks, I don't have a place where I can just go get a burner phone every week without somebody noticing. Mm-hmm. So, and the next thing I know, I've got, DHS showing up at my door. Or DHS. Yeah. I was thinking I said DHL for a second, but DHS. Anyway, that's the thing.
Department of Homeland Security is coming to get you for a burner phone. That's hilarious. But no, So, and the thing about that also today with him talking about how he's going to amplify journalists, because we don't hear enough from them already.
And even journalists said, we don't want that.
Why would you do that?
Sure, you've got the ones like Acosta and Sessler who are like, yeah, but they're not journalists. They're talking heads. Actual journalists are like, we already have a platform. It's called the media. My platform is this paper I write for or this publication I write for. I don't need you to amplify me.
Is proof that it is a political bias, and I pointed this out, of course, because I'm so introverted. I pointed out the fact that how they basically fell all over themselves to verify Sarah Jong, who said kill all the white people. Right. She works at the New York Times, but there are probably maybe 1,000 conservative writers out there who have not been verified. And why?
You tried what, 3 times?
Oh, more than that.
And but you've got a higher following than most of the. Good half of the blue checks I see who have a YouTube channel or YouTube channel and a chip on their shoulder.
My husband's always like, "You have more followers than that porn account." I'm like, "That's not a good thing." What? He's always so surprised, and he'll be like, "You have more followers than that company," and yes, I do. And he's like, "How the hell don't you have a blue check?" And because I don't say the right things, I say the wrong things, and I shave my armpits. That's part of it.
Yeah, and you don't wear a condom and walk through the halls.
I'm not dressing up in a bonnet all day when I'm working, If I
it's good that they have the time off of work to actually do that, to go cosplay on the Hill.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Did you see them all dressed up like?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, Handmaid's Tale.
I'm still amazed that there is no Handmaid's Tale porn. Nobody has made a porn parody of that yet.
I don't want to
know. That is ripe for.
There probably is. That's the thing.
I've looked.
Well, don't TMI. That thing was just too much information. That was exactly what that is about. Oh my God! I'm surprised if you have looked. I'm not surprised that you looked. I'm surprised it is not there.
Did you see David Marcus is on week 2 of Don't Engage with Anonymous Accounts?
No.
The Federalist. Yeah, he did another piece yesterday on why you shouldn't engage with them, and these people are not the founders, and silence do good is a bad analogy, and he's on that again, or still. Wow. And what happened was he opened that can of worms, got trolled for it by a bunch of anonymous accounts, and so that only reinforced his. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that got him digging deeper. But I think it's hilarious that that's coming from the Federalist. I mean that's.
Yeah, they take a lot of crap though from a lot of anonymous accounts. To be fair, I mean, if you think about it, the same people who went after Selena are always after them.
Yeah, well,
and they're always after Twitchy too, because that's kind of what they do.
Twitchy and Jesse and
anybody who has any kind of following and actually is.
I don't even have a following. They're always after me too.
Well, so your problem is that you just irritate them. Well, that's just who you are, and you do have a following.
I irritate everybody.
You do. This is a fair point, but you also do have a following. Trust me, I hear from them a lot.
Yeah, well.
Where's Ordy? Oh my God! I'm being crabby with them. Yeah, I know you appreciate.
We're all going to die from the black sarcophagus plague that was brought here on the Emeritus flight today.
That's terrifying! Oh my God!
Yeah. What was hilarious though is Vanilla Ice was on that plane.
I saw that. Oh my God!
It was like Laz said. It wasn't the goo from the black sarcophagus. It was his super syphilis.
It was the Ice Baby. It was really funny. Well, it's not funny because, you think about, okay, the plane was in Dubai, it flies in New York City, and you get your tinfoil going, and you're like, okay, they infect one guy with some terrible virus that'll kill everybody. They put him on a plane for 14 hours, and then they come to the big city. Vanilla Ice is on a freaking plane. Yeah. This is like a bad movie.
Well, and Ebola's broken containment in the Congo again. Well, so, I mean, that's,
Yeah, anyway. Congo, that's Ebola. That's the guest phase news. Oh my God, it's so terrifying. And you see that, and poor people are on the plane talking about being on the plane. But I didn't see Vanilla Ice until later today.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think. Yeah.
I'm on a plane, and he's all mad because there's cops and stuff. And you're like, maybe they're there for you, man. You know.
Right. Yeah, going back, I want to go back to the Nike thing again real quick because Jen and Rick had a great point last night.
Sure.
And that's okay. So you have these athletes who are taking a knee during the season and everything, you know, virtue signaling and all that. What are they doing in the off season to promote SJW causes?
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, they're just all they're doing is just taking their regular season, platforming, you know, doing their virtue signal and everything else, but during the off season, I'm pretty sure that they're just dollar bills and hookers, y'all.
Dollar bills and hookers. Send all hate mail to Orty, please. Thank you. Actually, the chat's talking about how much they love you, so they're Team Orty again.
Oh, well,
they're trying to irritate me, I think, because I broke the show earlier.
Yeah, well, it's your bigotry against the Amish.
It is my bigotry against the Amish, and I dropped an F-bomb. I totally screwed up the show, man.
I was amazed that for once Alexa wasn't the one who took it out. I muted both of them before the show just in case you tried to sabotage us.
If you don't listen to the show more often, shame on you. But just so you know, in the past, we've lost Orty because we've made fun of his Alexa, and all of a sudden he's gone. So it's Alexa got him and killed him. This time it was Rick and the drunk guy hitting for the tractor, or I don't know. Oh my God, that's too much.
The drunk tractor driver finally got you, Rick. He finally took you out.
Yeah, but that's the second time, bastard.
The joy of internet radio. Gotta have the internet to be on it. Yeah, well, that works. Is there anything else going on in the world that I missed? Because I really was unplugged today. I'm like binge watching. Oh my God, I totally thought binge watching. This reminded me. Have you seen the new show? It's The Purge. It's a TV show of The Purge.
No.
It was on tonight. Well, was it last night? It was on last night because we watched it on the DVR. I can't remember. It's like some old lady. I think we watched it last night.
Because I missed it, so I set it to record the midnight showing, and I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so I won't tell you what happens because, you know, but I was blown away by how, I mean, it's kind of because you get used to the Purge movies and you're like, yeah, this is really intense, and the pacing is kind of slow because it's like 10 hours or whatever. But oh my God. And then you are reminded, of course, they're making all these political statements throughout all of this. The what is it, the New Founding Fathers Association, the NFFA. It's crazy to see how they're making all these statements, and I can't tell who they're making fun of, though, because I thought for sure originally it's going to be about the right, because, you know, it's always the evil right who's all about the country and love of country or whatever. But there's some really weird messaging there, too, where you're like, I think they're hitting everybody.
Well, I mean, good. I mean, they should. That's, you know, one of the things a good political show will do. You know, one of the reason why I liked House of Cards, and yes, as it did have its virtue, its sock just overtones and everything, but he's a Democrat, and he's showing they're just as slimy as Republicans are, you know, and that's the message is that everybody's slimy. So that's why it's tolerable and not like the West Wing.
I mean, and there is definitely some tones of, you know, Trumpism, and they're making fun of the far right, and there's definitely that in it. But there's also weird messaging about like there's some weird like feminist stuff that they're slamming feminism, and I was really shocked how much I enjoyed it, because I usually don't watch television because I just don't pay attention. But yeah, so if you get a chance, you should watch it. Listen to me, I'll talk on TV, because I was going to make fun of watching Supernatural, and because I'm still binge watching Supernatural, and
I can actually relate to that, because I've been binge watching Stargate 1 and Stargate Atlantis to the point where like they're synced up, so that way it was kind of like when they were televised that, you know, I'll watch 2 one night and watch 2 the next, because anyway, but
that's fascinating. Yeah, I don't watch that crap, so I couldn't tell you. Nope, sorry.
So
but yeah, the first thing tonight was cool.
You'll drool over Jensen Ackles, but you don't watch Stargate. What the hell's the matter with you?
You know, actually, I don't drool over either Sam or Dean. It's not like that. It's weird. Like, you would think, because they're absolutely gorgeous, both of them. But it's not like that when I watch it. Now, Castiel, I think he's gorgeous. And I have Team Castiel. It's silly and stupid they're talking about this, but it's true. I have what's weird. I don't know. I don't see them like that. I know there's like Team Sam and Team Dean or whatever, but I'm Team Castiel.
You and your sparkling vampires.
There's no sparkling vampires. I think that's why I like it, because it's really gross.
Real vampires don't sparkle, damn it.
But You know what I'm noticing too is as the show goes on, there are these political messages in it. There's always anti-gun stuff, and these guys kill stuff, so it's really weird. I don't like that.
Any show that lasts long enough, it has to get political.
It is.
What are they on, like the 119th season?
They're like on season 14 or something. I don't know.
I was watching something the other day, and they said the best reason to watch Supernatural is to watch the evolution of cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
Between season 1 and now, you could just watch the last 14 years of tech and cell phones.
Yeah, because in the early ones are flip phones. They really are, and then now they're on smartphones. But yeah, and also the evolution of Sam Winchester from going from like a chubby faced little guy to like this really sculpted man. It's interesting watching it in the binge because if you watch it every year, you don't notice these things.
Uh-huh.
And nobody cares in the chat, but I'll talk about that anyway because that's what I did today.
I only watched the season finales for Kansas. Just saying.
The season finale for what?
I only watched the season finales of Supernatural for Kansas.
Okay.
Come on, Carry On My Wayward Son. They play it every season finale.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm like lost. What are you talking about? Yeah, but
that is a great song, though.
It is. There's some good music in it. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
I like Chad talking about singing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So, another great song. Gone
off too. We've totally lost track of where we are. Okay, I blame chat and I blame you.
Yeah. Did you see? Okay, getting back to the Kavanaugh thing too. Did you see Mazzy Hirono asking Brett Kavanaugh about his Me Too stuff? Yeah, it's like they're trying to catch him in a Clarence Thomas thing. Yeah. No, have you ever sexually harassed anybody or?
Oh God. That's interesting you bring that up because if you think about, I hadn't even thought about that, but you think back to Clarence Thomas, I remember those hearings, and I was really young, and I could have given a crap about politics at that point. And I remember still seeing that, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised because people are far more involved politically, and he's not divisive. The candidate himself is probably the most milquetoast, laid back, oh my God, the guy liked basketball more than politics in college kind of guy. I mean, he's very normal. Right. He has entire groups of women that he's worked with who've gone to be like lawyers, and he's clearly not a sexist. And
would you say binders full of women?
Binders full of women. But I mean, he's like, seriously, it's not, what's her name, Barnett, the woman. She was very pro-life. He has even said that Roe is settled law. I mean, he could not be more balanced and unbiased. Right. The issue is that Trump nominated him. So that's what's divisive. But they're trying to make him divisive. But Clarence Thomas, I mean, that was some dramatic stuff I could not even tell you what was going on. But that's what's led, I think, to Kavanaugh.
Yeah, but you know what the thing about that too is that was during a time when that wasn't really a big deal. Where HR departments, he said, is this somebody's pubic hair on my Coke? HR department would be like, and?
It's true.
I mean,
yeah. Now you can't look at someone funny or you're in trouble. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And of course, everything is on television. Everyone keeps saying, just pull the cameras out of the hearing, and it's going to get real quiet real quick. Linda Sarsour got arrested yesterday. She was one of the protesters. You saw that, right?
I saw that. And
then some Piper person I never heard of and they're all talking about how that he's going to come in and basically end abortion. And I don't know how they can be that stupid.
Yeah, he's going to end abortion, and then every baby's going to be born with a gun in their hand.
And then he's going to take away everyone's health care. He has all this power to do all these things. And I don't understand why they I mean, do they really think this, or is this just their way of getting in the middle and like resisting?
Okay, this goes to a lot of the same thing that we talked about during the election and everything else too. They know that it is bullshit. Every talking head knows it's bullshit. Every senator knows it's bullshit. Everybody knows it's bullshit. But what it does is it feeds the base.
Yes.
The base who doesn't know that the Supreme Court really doesn't have a lot of overlying power. All they're there to is just interpret the law of the land and make sure that it's applied correctly. And they've made some mistakes, but it's like they're trying to go after him against Brown versus the Board of Education. It's like, did you think that was a good idea? Well, yeah.
And it's really frustrating because the things that matter with Kavanaugh, like his rulings and his papers and his opinions and anything that would relate to him being a judge, are public. Anybody can go look. Anybody can see them, and anybody can read them. And it's like they're acting like the Republicans are trying to hide these things from them, and they're not.
Yeah, I mean, most of the documents that they want are available in the Bush Presidential Library.
Yeah, just go look.
I mean, they could request them.
They could. They don't want to, though.
We need to have it handed to us by the Senate Majority Leader. Why?
Which one of them asked Kavanaugh to cancel his own hearing? I saw that too. Maybe it was what's his name? Not Swalwell, even though he's been really loud. God dang it!
Was that Cory Booker?
No, Cory Booker's been crying.
Was it T-Bone?
No, it wasn't T-Bone either. What was his name? Damn it! I'll remember it after I'm off the air. I'll be like, oh, it was blah blah blah. He's also an annoying guy because for some reason Twitter thinks I need to see all these congressmen complaining about Kavanaugh, even though I don't follow them. They're always like right there in my search. So I end up slapping like Blumenthal all the time because he's always there. But it's interesting because Dick Durbin was hammering. I guess I saw this today. I didn't mean to, but Dick Durbin was hammering about abortion with Kavanaugh. But Dick Durbin himself has been found in writing as saying that he doesn't think abortion should be on demand.
Do the world a favor. Yeah. Dick Durbin and hammering should never be in the same sentence ever again.
Oh, my God. You know, I always...
That's like Alan Grayson and punching.
Oh, bad. Bad. Oh, you know what? Someone wants you to finish your story about Feinstein and Kavanaugh since I...
Oh, God, and I deleted those out of my notes. So basically, yeah, that's right. That's where we cut off. So, yeah, Feinstein was like, well, assault weapons are common, using... Heller's decision, that they're in common, use. And Kavanaugh said, well, yes, semi-automatic weapons are in common use. There are millions upon millions of them. And Feinstein said, well, ownership is not use. Kavanaugh said, well, they are owned, they are possessed and used. So, I mean, you just kind of, I deleted the exact wording from my notes, but yeah, that was the gist of it, where she had nowhere to go. She was trying to conflate the AR with semi-automatic weapons.
Which is what she always does.
Technically, it's correct, but, semi-automatic weapons are not assault rifles. And she kept saying assault rifle, and he kept saying semi-automatic weapon, or semi-automatic rifle.
Well, let's be honest. Really, there's no such thing as an assault weapon or an assault rifle.
Yeah, and then, some screeching leftist will point out that the rifle invented by the Germans actually was called the assault rifle during World War II. It's like, okay, fine. You have this one instance in history that is technically grammatically correct, but in common parlance, it's wrong.
There's no such thing. An assault weapon that just doesn't exist in our world. But whatever, that's fine. So, see, you got to tell your story anyway, even though I broke the show. I
did. You broke the show. And
I'm sorry. I broke the show. It's my bad.
Did you see that Will Wheaton's been run off of Mastodon?
No, but I saw him complaining that people were so mean to him on Twitter. He's glad he left.
Yeah, people were mean to him on Twitter, so he got into this big huff of, I'm going to a better place called Mastodon. And so he, leaves Twitter, goes over to Mastodon, and he gets into it with, he gets BOFA'd by some trans woman.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't know what BOFA is, it's where you get set up for both of these nuts. And so he got set up for that, so he blocked her.
Oh.
And then Mastodon loses their shit because apparently it's making trans women and cis women feel unsafe if you block them. And he used Randy Harper's block bot, which was originally the Gamergate auto blocker, but then she made another one. Yeah. And because she's a TERF, a trans exclusatory rad femme, it showed that he has a pattern of being anti-trans, and also because he didn't really stick up for him, but he didn't blast Chris Hardwick either. That shows that he's also a misogynist and an enabler of woman abuse. So he got run off of Mastodon. They closed his account. Mastodon closed his account from last hilarious. I saw that. Yeah,
that's hilarious. Good old Will. Good for Will. Okay, I think we're done now. I think we broke it. I think we caught up. We brought it back together.
Another 5 minutes because you broke it.
I can't give him another 5 minutes. I gotta go to bed.
Okay, so Ordy and I will give them another 5 minutes, and we'll pick up your slack.
Can you guys give them another 5 minutes? I gotta go put my kids to bed. They're back in school.
Uh-huh.
No,
slacker.
I know. I'm such a bummer, but I got to.
Where can people find you, Foo?
People can find me on Twitter at BOLITIBUNNY, and I write for a site called Twitchy.com.
Wait, you don't write for Twitchy? You don't write for Twitchy. You own it. You own Twitchy, don't lie.
Yeah,
No.
you own Twitchy. You're one. You 1% are you?
I don't. I just get to work for them. They're awesome. I don't actually own them. But no, if you're going to stay on, that's great. But I have to go.
That's all right. We'll wrap up for you.
We'll wrap up for you.
We'll take care of the light work. Go take care of your kids.
All right. Thanks, guys. And guys, listen to them for 5 more minutes. It'll be much better than what I've been doing. Okay. I'll talk to you guys live next week. Thanks again.
Bye.
We have been abandoned by the host of the show.
I know, right? She's been trying to do that for months. You should do your own thing. You should do your own show.
Well, I mean, come on. If I can do it, anybody can. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, wow. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. So, now that you're large and in charge of KLRN.
No, it's not like we don't have plenty of room on the schedule, so I'm sure we can make something happen. All right, so
I can't see me doing my own show. I really can't. I need the interaction.
Well, if nothing else, I can produce for you, and we can do this.
Well, it'll be like doing another version of the Rick Show. It'll be the Rick and Orty Show.
Yeah, whatever. Eventually, you'll be comfortable enough where you can talk on your own anyway. It always happens.
Yeah, but that's not how I liked it. I like conversations. I don't like monologues.
What are you trying to say?
Except for whenever I happen to end up on one of your show, it ends up being the Orty and Jen show or the Orty and Dan show. You just kind of fade into the background.
On purpose. I do this stuff a lot. So when we have somebody else on that wants to talk, I'm just like, I'll just sit here and push buttons. Yay.
So you changed your app. We got to let people know where they can find you now, too.
Yeah, actually, I changed it in hopes of an upcoming job opportunity that unfortunately fell through. But I'm still going to keep this anyway because, honestly, giving out an like Radio Host Rick started sounding really pretentious since I'm on several different networks. So I actually changed it to @RowdyRick73 because that's actually the first person that ever gave me the nickname that I now use as a radio name. It actually started as Rowdy Rick. Because I was apparently pretty fired up one day and that nickname kind of stuck. So anyway, we've gone to that. For those that have been following along at home, I did not get the job on a certain local radio station. However, I did come in a close second out of 10 people that were trying for the gig. So can't really say much considering I'm, as far as, local radio talent, I'm a podcaster who walked in off the street and nearly wound up with a morning show. So talk about validation awesome. That you don't suck.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I am Orty, man. Just reading the chat. No, that's awesome that you made it that close in the contention for the position, and we were all pulling for you, and you're great at it. I mean, this is what you do, so you're a natural fit for that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the future holds? Actually, I have heard through a little birdie who requested to remain nameless that there is another Styra media company that's looking to start a talk radio station soon here in the metro area. So apparently the folks that are running that company were listening to me when I was on KOKC and they liked my work. So cross your fingers that maybe turns into something, even if this never does.
No, that's amazing. That's great, and I know everybody's pulling for you. The chat, everybody, you deserve it. You've put so much work into this passion project of yours with radio that you deserve a position.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't. Like I said, I can't complain. I mean, I have to admit I was kind of a mess for like an hour today because the boss over there and I usually only talk by text, so I got really excited when I saw I got a text from him, and then I read it and I was like, oh, crap. And sadly, I'm sitting at work doing the day job, trying to keep from completely losing it with customers because I'm like, really? No, come on. I was so sure. And that's the thing. I kept telling everybody, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up. But every day it drug out that much longer. I started getting excited. And I'm like, dude, I'm still in this thing. What the hell? And then it's like,
it's hard not to. I mean, to make it that, it's like being the second to last one that's not voted off the island. I mean, you're so close.
Yeah, to put it in perspective for those that might not have done anything like this before, think of how Rocky felt after the end of Rocky 1.
Yeah.
That's
a good analogy.
That's basically how I felt today. I was like, I got so close. Didn't get there.
Right.
The good news in that story is there was a Rocky 2 and a Rocky 22.
Oh, God, there's another franchise that could have ended a long time ago. I don't know. I liked Creed I thought that was.
I was
going to
say I actually really liked Creed because it was cool because it was kind of fun to watch Rocky turn into Mick because he was just just as old as and cranky as Mick was, which was absolutely hilarious.
Right.
Because watching young Rocky versus old Rocky, I was like, dude, your younger self would be yelling at you right now, which is
right.
But then again, my younger self would be yelling at me right now, so that's probably why I related so well. All right, so we've officially given them longer than 5 minutes. You want to keep going? Yeah. I'm good if you want to keep going.
Well, there's spamming memes in chat. I think that's them telling us we want to get back to Twitter.
Probably. All right, so I would say tell everybody where they can find you, but I keep forgetting you're not on Twitter anymore.
They can find me as the Road Beer on Minds. They can find me as the Opulent Amish on Minds. And yes, I will be coming back to Twitter this week. Starting slow at first because I've got so many fans who try to nuke me right off the bat. So we'll see how that goes. And where can people find you, Rick?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at RowdyRick73. They can find me on Facebook as Rick Robinson. They can find me on Minds because I couldn't change the @ over there at Radio Host Rick. And also find me on the Gram at RowdyRick73 because everything's been updated but Minds because I guess you can't change that shit over there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's part of the blockchain that they use. That you're locked in. But anyway, everyone, stay out of jail. Keep your sense of humor and cornbread.
Nice. All right. So since I completely dropped the ball, let's do this now. What do you say?
Yeah, that's all right.
For Foo and the Opulent Amish, we will be back with you next week. Hopefully Foo actually hangs around for the whole show next week. We'll see you guys later.